29 years old, Marcus wasn't broke. He was comfortable. $72,000 salary, good apartment in Dallas, decent car, weekend dinners. From the outside, he looked stable. Inside, he felt stuck, because every year looked the same: 3% raise, more responsibility, same financial ceiling. And one night, while reviewing his bank statements, something hit him. If he kept growing at 3% per year, he would need nearly 20 years to double his income. 20 years. That wasn't growth, that was slow survival. And Marcus realized something most employees ignore. You don't double income by waiting. You double income by increasing perceived value faster than time. That's when the identity crisis started. He wasn't underpaid, he was underpositioned. At work, Marcus was known as dependable, but not exceptional. He handled logistics coordination, vendor communication, project timelines. Important work, but common. Common skills create average income, and average income compounds slowly. So he asked himself a painful question: what skill inside this company directly affects revenue? Not tasks, not activity, revenue. The answer was clear: client retention, high-value client retention. One lost enterprise client meant millions. But most managers focused on daily workflow. Marcus shifted focus. He started studying client churn patterns, late-night analysis. Why did certain accounts leave? What complaints appeared before cancellation? What operational bottlenecks triggered dissatisfaction? He noticed something small but powerful. Response time delays during high-volume months increased cancellation probability by 11%. No one was tracking that. He built a simple internal dashboard, predicted churn risk based on response lag. Proposed proactive intervention calls for high-risk accounts. His manager approved a pilot. Within 6 months, churn dropped 4% in his division. That translated into roughly $2.1 million retained revenue. Marcus didn't sell anything, he protected money. And companies pay well for people who protect money. But here's the important part. He didn't announce himself as a hero. He documented results. Carefully. Clean reports, clear metrics, quarter-over-quarter impact. He wasn't chasing praise, he was building a measurable value story. Because value without proof doesn't scale income. By month 9, his title hadn't changed. His salary hadn't changed. But his positioning had. Executives now saw his name next to revenue protection data. That matters, because income jumps happen when leadership sees financial linkage. At month 12, a director asked him a direct question. If we expanded this retention model company-wide, could you lead it? Marcus felt something shift. He wasn't just managing, he was shaping. And that's where doubling begins, not with luck, with leverage. When the director asked Marcus if he could scale the retention model company-wide, that wasn't just a compliment, it was a test. Most employees would respond emotionally, "Absolutely, I'd love to." Marcus responded strategically, "Yes, but to scale it properly, we'd need cross-department data access and a small analytics support team." That answer did two things. It showed vision, and it showed leadership thinking. Over the next 4 months, Marcus led the expansion. The churn-prediction dashboard rolled out across 3 divisions. Company-wide, retention improved by 6.5%. That translated to roughly $4.8 million in preserved annual revenue. Now his name wasn't attached to one department. It was attached to enterprise-level protection. And that's when compensation conversations changed. At his annual review, his director didn't start with feedback. He started with this: we need to formalize your role. New title: Client Retention Strategy Manager. New salary: $98,000, from $72,000 to $98,000 in 1 year. $26,000 increase. But the doubling wasn't complete yet. Here's what most people miss. Internal raises expand base. External markets multiply it. Marcus updated his resume carefully. Instead of listing duties, he wrote impact. Designed predictive churn model that reduced enterprise client loss by 6.5%, protecting $4.8 million in annual revenue. Recruiters understand revenue language. Within 3 months, a SaaS firm reached out. They were scaling rapidly and needed someone to reduce churn across subscription tiers. Interview focused on strategy, data interpretation, and leadership. Marcus wasn't guessing. He had built the system already. Offer: $138,000 base salary plus performance bonus. From $72K, $98K, $138K in 18 months. Income nearly doubled. $66,000 increase. And here's the deeper psychological shift. Marcus didn't chase promotion. He chased leverage. He didn't ask, "How do I work harder?" He asked, "What part of this company directly affects money?" Then he inserted himself there. High earners don't compete for workload, they compete for impact. Impact tied to revenue scales compensation. And here's something uncomfortable. Most employees want to be liked. Very few want to be financially critical. Marcus became financially critical. When someone protects millions in revenue, they become difficult to replace. Difficult to replace means stronger negotiation power. Stronger negotiation power means higher income ceiling. And now, instead of saving $700 per month, he was investing over $4,000 monthly between 401k, brokerage, and company stock. That difference compounded over 20 years at 8% growth. That's millions in trajectory shift. All from one strategic decision: tie your work to money. If your job doesn't connect clearly to profit, cost reduction, or risk mitigation, your salary growth will stay moderate. Marcus didn't become extraordinary overnight. He aligned with revenue. Alignment builds leverage. Leverage builds income. You don't double income by doubling effort. You double income by doubling financial relevance. That's the difference. If you're working hard but not tied to revenue, you're building experience, not leverage. Subscribe to Rich Mind Talk, because we don't just talk about success, we build financial positioning.